849A Reflective Task Part 1. In this task, I'm going to teach first grade math. I'm going to teach them to do addition within 20s, and I'm going to assess their work using technology. The reason I use technology is that right now, our trend is to have technology integrated in the teaching, and technology can provide a lot of benefits for students and teacher to access their work. And also technology can provide a long-term progress report for both teachers and students to track to self-monitor their work. The standards I select is 1.1.2.b, which is the math standards 8, and subtract within 20s using a variety of strategies. I have two learning targets in this task. The first learning target is complete 10 addition questions within 20 in 10 minutes. And the second one is achieve at least 8 of 10 questions correctly. In these two learning targets, I selected the subject as I, which means students can repeat that I complete 10 addition questions within 20 in 10 minutes. And also I achieve at least 8 of 10 questions correctly. So students will be easier to understand if you use the first person perspective to communicate with them. And before the assessment, I started with the practice. I don't want students to practice to be assessed immediately after the instruction, because I want them to engage in the learning process and process the instruction that have just heard, and then to the assessment. Otherwise, the assessment may not be accurate because we must allow students to take some time to process, the information we provided. So the app I'm gonna choose is the targeting math, and you just push your name here, and for practice purpose, I select the multiplayer. So you can have either 2, 3, or 4 players in a team to have a group competition to warm up. And you can select the target. So it's a 20 addition within 20. So 20 plus 0, 20 this side. In this practice, students can think about how to do addition within 20. So and think about their strategies for future assessment. And for assessment part, I'm going to use the training section. The training section here is you can select addition, and you select 8 to 20s. Then you start create activity. For this part, it's a real world problem. See, here are apples. 14 apples plus 4 apples equals 18 apples. So we want to use real world problem, and see these are candies. We want to use real world problem to assess students' understandings about addition, to see whether they can complete the questions. And also, we want them to use a variety of ways. For example, if they are not familiar with the candies, they can just say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 lines, 9 scratches, plus 2 scratches equals 11 scratches. They can just complete the assessment on their own path. The purpose for the assessment is to assess whether they can complete our target, they can achieve our learning target. But the process is very flexible. I don't want to limit them to do the part. So the purpose, the learning target is we have them to complete the 10 in 10 minutes, 10 questions in 10 minutes. And for this part, I can calculate them 10, give them 10 minutes a period. And also we can have the uh, progress report by target math. Here is a progress report. You can see here is a question, addition question you answer. uh, Here's a addition question you answer two, and but you only answer one correct. So your correct rate is 50%, and we want them to pursue 80%. So for students to detect whether students meet the standard or meet our learning targets, we should see should be 80% of the game. And also, there is another app I'm going to use for students self-assessment. This is called Splash Math. And for the Splash Math, we have tons of places. Say here, you can select addition sentences within 20. And this is a gamification part. It's like a video game that student can play with, and they can practice and assess their skills in doing addition. For example, this is 8 plus 5. You select 8 plus 5 equals 13. Then you get some coins here, and you get some reward here. Uh, after you're doing that, you can see the report. These reports are very important for students and also teachers. See here, needs more practice in two topics. Needs more practice in adding using pictures within 10, adding addition sentences within 20. So the function of these apps can provide a clear goal for students to say, okay, here is what I'm going to do, and here's what I need to do. And also, they have some. This apps has some, uh, very useful data to show. Okay, now the accuracy is 100%, and you solved 7 problems, and also it shows you your learning curve, which is a increasing curve, which is a good one. And for this reason, for those reasons, and it's better to use technology to assess students' addition, addition in this reflective task, because I do want students to think about how to how to think about that I want to be assessed, and I want to practice, and also I can practice and assess myself anytime and anywhere. So that back to my reflection. The first reflection is what I have done right now is assessment for learning is a formative assessment rather than assessment of learning. Assessment of learning is summative assessment is used for, let's say, schools or school district to assess my teaching efficiency and also to see whether students meet some goals. But for formative assessment, for example, the two apps I use to assess students' performance about addition is that I try to track their learning and know their learning performance immediately after I see those reports. The second one is a lot of the old ways of thinking assessment is that assessment is just an assessment. The purpose of the assessment is to use to evaluate the student performance. Yes, it is, but with technology, I just add one more thing to assessment. No matter formative assessment or summative assessment, is that assessment should be engaged, enjoyable, and efficient. We don't want students to spend a lot of time on assessment, but we want the assessment tool can be efficiently evaluate their performance. And also, I want the process to be very enjoyable. For example, in my reflective task, I have two gamification apps for them to take assessment, and it's very enjoyable for them. And once they are, in using those apps, they are engaged in the app use. Probably we can use pencils and pens, but for engagement level, I recommend applications, iPads or technology tools. And the last one is very important is that assessment results should be effectively communicated to intended users. Those two assessment tools can create the reports for students, for parents, and for teachers to understand the student progress. It's very important because without those progress report, students, teachers, and their parents cannot set up the goals to improve students' performance. For example, when students know, oh, here is my learning curve. My learning curve is not increasing, it's decreasing. They will know, and it's a graphic. That it's very clear that they will know they should practice probably more on what type of task, so they can reach better performance and they're easier to meet standards. And also teachers, when teachers see their progress, and teachers can use the app to directly find out what they are lacking of, what students are lacking of. For example, if they found out, oh, students are lacking of this part and or that part, they can provide, purposeful instruction to help students to advance those skills. Okay, here are my some reflections, and here's my reflective task. Thanks for watching.